Lots of extra acne, getting electrocuted, punched in the face, and not being able to go to the toilet whenever he wanted to.
And it's like, zip me, unzip me, unzip me.
That's just a small list of weird things that Tom Holland went through on the set of his Marvel movies.
Holy sh... I didn't swear.
Because the life of Spider-Man is way tougher than you think. Here's the first weird thing that you need to know about Tom Holland.
I hate spiders.
Yes, Marvel's superstar can't stand the arachnid monsters. Have you heard that a person swallows 8 spiders a year while they sleep? Tom heard that too, so every night before going to bed, he's like...
Every night, I'm like, just keep your mouth closed. Keep your mouth closed, you'll be okay. Breathe through your nose.
Somebody needs to tell poor Tom that people eating 8 spiders a year is a myth. We actually eat 10. Nah, just kidding. The funny thing is that Tom isn't afraid of daddy longlegs.
I'm not so afraid of daddy longlegs, but like, for me, little spiders is what gets me.
So wouldn't it be fairer to call his character Daddy Longlegs Man instead? Talking about phobias, Tom once shared how he was afraid of being publicly humiliated on set.
But yeah, that was probably the closest I came to really embarrassing myself.
See, the spider suit is pretty complicated to put on and take off. Normally it takes about 45 minutes. So on set, Tom had to plan his toilet breaks in advance. Otherwise, he might be in trouble.
Because you know how sometimes it just comes on, you're like, I need to go now.
Yeah.
And it's like, zip me, unzip me, unzip me. And then you're like, get it off, get it off.
The actor got stuck in that exact situation once, and let's just say things almost ended pretty badly for him.
That was nearly a really expensive mistake.
So not only did Tom battle to go to the toilet, but he also couldn't drink water properly. Warning, the world will never be the same again for anyone who sees this footage.
What I can do is I can take my left eye out, and there's a little like thing that I pull out, and then I put a squeezy tube down into my mouth, and then I can drink from a bottle.
Plus, Tom confessed that he got tons of pimples from wearing that sweaty mask. Oh, Marvel, shame on you. Couldn't you design a smarter Spider-Man costume? But perhaps the biggest humiliation Tom faced while wearing that costume was putting on a thong.
I have to wear a thong underneath, and other than that, that's it. You know, the first time they ever gave me the thong, they were like, here, put this on.
Although Tom hated the idea of wearing it, he had no other option, because it made his suit fit so much better.
And I'll never be the same.
Becoming Spider-Man is a tough job. Preparing for the role, Tom knew it was gonna be super challenging, so he found some crazy ways to get into spider positions. Like a friend of his suggested, he electrocute himself. And Tom was like, sure, why not?
It's like you wear these like pads and you do like exercises, but it sort of electrocutes you at the same time.
Ouch and ouch! Why would anyone do that to themselves?
And it really does work. I tell you, I did it once and I didn't go to the toilet for 2 days. Yeah, so try it, everyone.
Thanks, Tom. We'll definitely try it one day. Seriously though, his intense training helped Tom to avoid any big injuries during filming. Do you know what his biggest injury was?
Sort of like go down the stairs. I did that and tweaked my neck.
Luckily, it was nothing too serious and Tom recovered quickly. The ridiculous thing is that it didn't happen on set, but on his way home after a long filming day. Yet in the same interview, Tom shared an even weirder fact about himself. Despite being a super duper athlete, he can't touch his toes.
Spider-Man can't touch his toes? Nope, can't do it.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
No way! Can you believe that years of acrobatics and ballet dancing didn't make him more flexible? He did get something cool out of it though.
But I can backflip, so...
Okay.
However, no amount of training can prepare you for an unexpected punch in the face. Yep, once Tom was beaten hard by his on-set mate.
Probably the most painful thing that happened to me is I actually got punched in the face by accident. The stunt men, what they'll do is before they punch you, they'll vocalize something to let you know that they're about to punch you.
As you may have already guessed, the stunt double forgot to make the noise, and this happened.
The noise.
No.
So I was just sort of standing there. And then just took it, and he has this big metal sort of gauntlet on. And just took a like right hand right across the side of the head.
Tom can laugh about it now, but back then it was a pretty big deal. Seems like everything and everyone challenged Tom, even his closest co-stars. Do you remember the scene where Spider-Man meets Mysterio for the first time?
You can call me Quentin.
Doesn't look too challenging, right? Well, it turns out it took 40 takes to get it right, and it's all because neither Tom nor Jake Gyllenhaal could stop laughing, for no reason.
Nice to meet you.
Tom, be a tiny bit closer.
Not that part. In the movie, you see a millisecond shot of them shaking hands because the editor just couldn't get anything usable.
I don't think the shot works. I don't think it works.
But hey, we don't want you to think that Tom is a bad actor.
No.
There are some really inspiring stories of him being a true professional. Like, did you know that Tom improvised several scenes as Spider-Man? For example, his final lines in the Avengers tragic finale were unscripted.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
This scene gives me goosebumps every time. It's crazy to realize that Tom came up with that by himself. The actor shared with GQ that he used an acting technique where you repeat a phrase over and over again, bringing the needed emotion.
So for example, if I was like in a scene and I was talking to someone and the undertone of the scene was that I love them, I would say in my head, I love you so much, I love you so much, I love you so much, I love you so much.
For that Avengers scene, Tom came up with the phrase, I don't want to go. And that's how that heartbreaking performance was born. Another great example of how Tom took his acting preparation very seriously was that he went to a high school undercover. He did so to better understand the role of Peter Parker.
So as a joke, I suggested to Marvel that I should go to a high school undercover.
Right.
And it was completely a joke, and Marvel took it completely seriously. I guess they didn't get my British sarcasm.
Yeah, they do that.
Yep. The guys from Marvel have no time for jokes, Tom.
So the next thing I know, I was like, had a backpack with a pencil case on my way to Bronx School of Science.
Oh boy.
Being an undercover student not only helped Tom get more into the character of Peter Parker, but it also helped him perfect his American accent. Admit it, you would never guess Tom Holland was British watching Spider-Man. But of course, no one can be perfect 24/7, which means mistakes can happen. Like once Tom was so tired on set that he accidentally started talking with a British accent and nobody from the filming crew noticed.
And I walk into this like sandwich shop. I'm like, hello mate, you all right? And then he's like, what do you want? I was like, pickles please, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah.
So they had to revoice that scene and cut it in a way so no one would notice what Tom was actually saying. If you're wondering what scene it was, it's from Spider-Man Homecoming.
So, Mr. Dalmore?
Hey, Mr. Parker. Number 5, right?
Yeah, and with pickles, and can you smush it down real flat? Thanks.
But as you can see, there was no trace left of Tom's "hello mate" line, which is sad. Marvel needs to publish the scene in a blooper reel now. Did you know that Tom's co-stars say that he's kinda goofy? In a good way though. Forgetting about Peter Parker's accent is one example. If you need more, then here they are.
The medium, I think I shot the close-ups, and I was going to go back to a medium close-up. Go back to a medium.
They say it's all about the recovery, and Tom handled his fail like a true artist. But the biggest goofy thing he is known for is spoiling Marvel secrets. You know that story, don't you? Tom accidentally spoiled the title of Spider-Man 2, and then he said in an interview that Homecoming is actually a trilogy.
Yeah, there'll be Spider-Man 2 and 3. It won't be Homecoming 2 and 3. Yeah.
Almost a scoop because we knew about the second one, but not the third one.
Yeah, well now you know.
That just makes us love Tom even more, right? And that's also why Marvel stopped telling him any details about his new movies until it was necessary.
I am very bad at keeping secrets, especially when it comes to movies. Like, I have 3 people looking at me like now, like, oh, stop talking, dude. So, they didn't let me read the script because I think they know that I'm a bit of a big mouth.
Right.
Luckily, Tom doesn't just have a big mouth, he has a big heart too. While he was signing autographs for fans, he noticed a girl getting crushed by some stupid dudes in the crowd, and Tom came to the rescue.
Throw your shit on the floor if you keep pushing that guy.
Guys!
You're literally crushing us.
I'm literally gonna have a panic.
It's okay, I got you. Can you back up?
Tom made the people move away and give the scared fans some space, which really proves that he isn't only a fictional superhero, Tom's pretty much a real one too. If you're a fan of movies, then watch these videos. We're sure you're gonna love them. Thanks for staying with us, guys. Cheers!